Hello friends, once again welcome to Diksha Mission JRF. This is our 35th day of Diksha Mission JRF. We have been doing continuously videos for 35 days once the lockdown has started. And in all these videos, we were discussing our syllabus from NTA NET Paper 1 topics. We have discussed many topics like logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, data interpretation, ICT, people development and environment, higher education system, etc. We have discussed most of the topics. There are some more topics to be discussed. Definitely we'll be discussing it in the coming videos. Okay, so we have given priority to discussing the previous question and especially the latest questions, that is 2019 December question paper. We have released all sets of 2019 December question papers. All those sets are available as YouTube videos in our Diksha Classroom YouTube channel. You can subscribe to our Diksha Classroom YouTube channel. You can go to the playlist. You can select 2019 December question papers. You will get all the 10 shift of question papers with the answer keys. If you want the explanation to most of the question paper is also uploaded. The remaining will be uploaded in the coming days. Okay, so at the same time, if you want to download free ebook of previous questions of commerce, English, psychology, paper 1, etc., also you can visit our website www.dikshaclassroom.com. Also make sure you are participating in the Diksha quiz in Instagram every day 7:30 p.m. in which you will get direct questions and you want to answer the question in the Instagram comment section, and the winners, 3 winners every week, will get a free enrollment to Diksha practice mock test series of 20 questions of exact NTA NET pattern, and 3 winners, everyone will be also having a free enrollment to Diksha NTA paper 1 complete online course worth rupees 4,000. Okay, so don't forget to attend those quiz through the Instagram platform, and also visit our website www.dikshaclassroom for more details regarding Diksha online courses, etc. And at the same time, don't forget about your task number 35, the next set of question paper. The link for the question paper is given in the YouTube description. The link for the answer key of the 34th task number 34, is also given in the YouTube description. You can download those, and if you want to directly get the question papers to your WhatsApp, you can join Diksha free paper 1 WhatsApp broadcast by sending join to 9847478690. At the same time, we have broadcast for other subjects also: economics, commerce, social work, psychology. We are going to start broadcasting other subjects also. In the broadcast, make sure you save the Diksha number, because once you save our number and we also save your number, only you will receive the messages, or the format or the link or the numbers for joining different broadcasts is also given in the YouTube description. If you have any doubts regarding the YouTube description, joining the broadcast, etc., you can put it in the comment section. And also, if you have any doubts regarding any of the questions we have already discussed or we are going to discuss, you can put it in the comment section. We'll definitely try to resolve the doubts, and if a video required, a separate video will be done on that particular topic. Okay, so make sure you do the task number 35. You participate in the Diksha Instagram contest every day 7:30 p.m. Diksha Classroom Instagram account, and visit our website, subscribe to our channel. Preparing well, complete all the topics of paper 1 and all the topics of paper 2. Everything should be made sure from your side. Okay, because it's very important to prepare well. Okay, as we have already discussed in our preparation strategy, the only way to qualify or crack JRF is to become the best prepared student or the best prepared candidate in your respective subject. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding your preparation, also you can ask us through the comment section, or you can directly contact us. The phone number is also given in the YouTube description. Okay, so that's all about the particular intro to this video, Diksha Mission number 35. And also task also given in the description, as I have already told. And in this video also, we are going to continue our discussion with previous questions. Okay, so we are continuing our discussion with previous question. So in this set, we are discussing the next set of question from 6th December 2019. Okay, that is the latest exam, and we'll be discussing the question from people, development and environment. So friends, let's go directly to the question. So friends, in this video, we are going to discuss the question from 6th December 2019 morning shift, and we will be discussing the questions from people, development and environment. So let's go to the question. This is the first question. Which of the following is a renewable natural resource? Okay, so you want to answer the question. It's a very easy question directly from the renewable energy resources. The options are biological diversity, tin, natural gas, and salt. A is biological diversity, B is tin, C is natural gas, and D is salt. Okay, so give me the answer. Question is, which of the following is a renewable natural resource? Okay, you can put your answers in the comment section. Okay, it's a very easy and direct question. Okay, so what's the answer? So we'll discuss the question. The question is regarding the renewable energy resource. I hope you know what is renewable energy resources and what is non-renewable energy resources. We can say renewable energy resources are those resources which can be repeatedly used and replaced naturally. Okay, within a time frame, if you use renewable energy resources, that can be replaced in a time period. And so out of all this one, biological diversity can be referred to as a renewable energy resource. Non-renewable energy resources are substances that is being used up more quickly than it can replace. Definitely it can be also replaced, but it will be used up more quickly. It may take millions of years to replace it. So we have the option biological diversity as the current. Tin takes millions of years, it cannot be replaced immediately, so it's a non-renewable. Natural gas is a non-renewable, salt is a non-renewable. So with regards to question, which of the following is a renewable natural resources, we have the answer biological diversity as a correct answer. Moving to next question. Under Kyoto Protocol, the parties. Okay, so that's a next question we have, that is under the Kyoto Protocol. The parties in the second commitment period have to reduce their greenhouse gas emission with reference to 1990 levels by at least. So that's the question. Once again, under the Kyoto Protocol, the parties in the second commitment period have to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions with reference to 1990 levels by at least. Okay, so they have given four options. Option A is 10%, option B is 12%, option C is 15%, and option D is 18%. Okay, so give me the answers by commenting it in the comment section. I will wait for your answer. I will give you some seconds. After that, we'll be discussing the question. Okay, so let's discuss. I hope you know regarding the Kyoto Protocol, we have already discussed regarding Kyoto Protocol in our Diksha mission JRF number 2 or 3, I think we have detailedly discussed regarding Kyoto Protocol. So there are different conventions coming under the United Nations Environment Program, or there are different convention or global efforts across the world so as to uh, protect environmental resources. Okay, out of that, one of the most important one was the Rio Summit, under which we have different convention. Okay, under Rio Summit we have basically three convention. The first one is Convention on Biological Diversity, or CBD, and the second one was United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, and the third one was United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification, or UNCCD. So these are the three conventions coming under Rio Summit. Convention on Biological Diversity deals with biological diversity protection, and we have Nagoya Protocol, Cartagena Protocol, etc. coming under Convention on Biological Diversity, and UNCCD. It's all about the, as the name indicates, United Nations Convention to combat desertification. It's all about reducing the area being coming under desert in every year. So the second one and the most important one is United Nations Framework Convention to combat climate change. It's all about tackling the issues of climate change, and the most important protocol coming under UNFCCC is Kyoto Protocol. Okay, Kyoto Protocol. Kyoto Protocol, the basic aim of Kyoto Protocol or the basic objective of Kyoto Protocol is to reduce the harmful effects of climate change, and very simply to reduce greenhouse effect or global warming, and which can be also said as reducing the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So as per the Kyoto Protocol, the parties which are a signatory to this particular protocol promises to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that will be emitted from their country to a particular level in a particular year. So it was come into force in the year 2008. Kyoto Protocol have two commitment period, and the first commitment period, there are basically two commitment period. They have asked question regarding both the commitment period. In this question, the question is regarding the first commitment period. So sorry, second commitment period. First commitment period was from 1998. Sorry, it's not 1998. 2008 to 2012, and the second commitment period was from 2012 to 2020. First one is 4 years and the second one is 8 years, and during this period the parties are, or the annex 1 parties, we have detailedly discussed the difference between annex 1, annex 2, non-annex 1, annex A, annex B, etc. in our Diksha Mission JRF video discussing global efforts of environmental conservation. So 2008 to 2001, the countries committed are determined are supposed to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases by 5% from the level of 1990. Okay, so they will be reducing the amount of greenhouse gases by 5% in the first commitment period compared to the level of greenhouse gases being produced in the year 1990. And in the second commitment period, that is from 2012 to 2020, the parties are committed to reduce the level of greenhouse gases by 18%. Remember, 18% than that of the level of 1990. So in the first commitment period, it's very important. They have asked question regarding which are the commitment periods. So, and also ask question regarding what is the amount that is supposed to reduce. So commitment period first, 2008 to 2012, the rate of reduction is 5%. Commitment period 2 is 2012 to 2020, the rate of reduction supposed to be is 18. So the question is regarding, in the second commitment period, the parties have to reduce their greenhouse gas emission with reference to 1990 level by at least a minimum of, so 18%. For more, visit Diksha Mission JRF video on global environmental conservation effort. So for this question, answer D, 18 is the correct answer. Moving to next question. That is, question is, major sources of oxygen demanding waste in freshwater systems are. Okay, so the question is regarding oxygen demanding waste in freshwater system. Uh, the options are agriculture runoff, food processing, or mining, sewage effluent, and landfill sites. You want to choose the correct options. Okay, don't get confused by hearing the word oxygen demanding waste. Oxygen demanding waste are those waste which can be decomposed by those bacteria in the presence of oxygen. That's what you mean by oxygen demanding waste. So as to decompose that waste, bacteria which works or that functions in the presence of oxygen is required. So give me the answer. I will give you some time. Major source of oxygen demanding waste in freshwater systems are. That's the question.
So we'll be discussing the question. I already told that oxygen demanding waste are that those waste that can be decomposed by oxygen requiring bacteria. Okay, so which means when the large population of decomposing bacteria are present, this waste will be converted, and it will also result in the depletion of oxygen level. That's very important. Okay, when more oxygen demanding wastes are there, more bacteria will utilize more oxygen, which means there will be depleting level of oxygen there. That's what is very significant. Then it's factual aspect. Agricultural runoff requires oxygen demanding bacteria. Then food processing requires oxygen demanding bacteria, and the ore mining normally cannot be decomposed, so it doesn't come. Then also we have sewage effluent also require oxygen demanding bacteria. Landfill sites doesn't require. So we have 1, 2 and 4. Option C as a correct answer for this particular question. Okay, so for this particular question answer is 1, 2 and 4. So moving to the next question. So we have option C as the correct answer. Moving to next question. Biomass fuels have the potential to form a sustainable carbon neutral energy source because. So the question is, biomass fuel have the potential to form a sustainable carbon neutral energy source because they, option A, produce carbon dioxide on combustion as much as they consume when they grow. Option B, produce less amount of carbon dioxide on combustion compared to the amount they use during their growth. Option C, have carbon content same as fossil fuels. And option D, do not produce hazardous emissions on combustion. So these are the 4 options. Try to give your answers in the comment section. Okay, so that's it regarding this question. It's all about biomass fuels. Okay, so question is, biomass fuel have the potential to form a sustainable carbon neutral energy source because what is the peculiarity of biomass is a question. The answer is they produce carbon dioxide on combustion as much as they consume when they grow. Okay, which means it's a sustainable carbon neutral. It's carbon neutral means it will consume as much as it is produced. So the amount of carbon dioxide produced on combustion is same as the amount of carbon dioxide consumed on growing. That means carbon neutral. Okay, this directly can be answered from the option itself. Biomass fuels have the potential to form a sustainable carbon neutral energy because they produce carbon dioxide on combustion as much as they consume when they grow. It's a direct question, and the B, C, D options are not significant with regards to this statement. B option, produce less amount of carbon dioxide in combustion compared to the amount they use during their growth. It's wrong. It can't be said as carbon neutral. Then have carbon content same as fossil fuel. It has nothing to do with carbon neutral. Then do not produce hazardous emission on combustion. So that's also wrong. We have the option A as the correct answer for this particular question. So option A, this one, option A. Moving to last question of this particular set from people, development and environment. Which among the following natural hazards are relatively slow onset? So the question is regarding which among the natural hazards are relatively slow onset. Options are A, volcanic eruptions, droughts, wildfires, landslides. So give me the answer. Okay, give me your answers in the comment section. Okay, so I will answer the question. Question is regarding following natural hazards are relatively slow onset. Slow onset occurs slowly and may take years to develop. Okay, so we can say epidemics, insect infestations, and droughts. Okay, droughts is a classic example for slow onset, because they have also asked question previously, in which among the following natural hazard we can say a specific beginning and a specific end. We can't say a date, a particular time frame regards to the beginning of end of any drought experience in our country or throughout the world. Okay, so because it's have a gradual onset and a gradual retrieval, so droughts is the correct answer. We know volcanic eruption, it has a sudden onset. Okay, it's a very sudden onset, and also wildfires also has a very sudden onset. Landslide also comparatively a very sudden onset. So the question is regarding relatively slow onset. So when compared to all the option, it's clear droughts. Remember, droughts is also considered to be the hazard which doesn't have a definite beginning and a definite end. It will start a time to say that a particular region is suffering from drought, etc. So we have for this question, which among the following natural hazards has a relatively slow onset? We have droughts as the correct answer. So that's all about this set of questions.
So friends, that's all about this video discussing people development and environment question from 2019 December 6th morning shift. I hope you are clear with all the questions we have discussed. If you have any doubts regarding any question, you can just put it in the comment section. We'll try to resolve those issues. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel Diksha Classroom, our Instagram account Diksha Classroom, and also share with your friends. So that's all about this video. We'll be discussing more regarding our NTA and paper 1 syllabus in the coming days. Thank you.